Today we're going to go over the process that I follow to stop the hair thinning, and we're going to share my experience in figuring out the health and how I use it to guide my clients on my one-on-one program. Hey, I'm Yuri, I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, and if I look down, my notes are on my laptop, so I don't just ramble on. So my backstory was that I was on birth control for 13 years, and I was on it to control my acne. But when I hit my early 30s, I noticed that it no longer was controlling my acne. And that's something that I wanted to share. If you're just like an overachiever, you're trying to figure out your career, or you're trying to balance your family, your kids, school, work, anything like that, if you don't take the time to really slow down, take care of your body, I've noticed some women experience like they're in their late 20s to early 30s, like their body just hit the wall. And that was me in my early 30s. I felt like my body just hit the wall. And I didn't know why I was experiencing the hair thinning, the hair loss, and the fatigue. But I did make a connection that I was on birth control and I wanted to get off to see what that would do for my body. So once I started getting off the birth control, I was on supportive supplements such as, like, let's say your vitamin D, your magnesium. I was on a hormonal support, but I felt like there was something missing. Because I felt like I wasn't healed like entirely. So that's when I went and did the research. I attended the health conferences, and I discovered like there's a root cause healing to all of this. And whenever you work with a practitioner, root cause healing it's not a band-aid solution. A root cause healing is you really dig down to figuring out why you're experiencing hair loss, why you're experiencing like extreme fatigue. And for myself was, after the root cause healing, is you learn that there's a method to all of this, to lowering the toxicity. So what I discovered was when I took the stool test and it came out as, hey, I don't have any gut bugs. And I learned that some of the stool tests, they don't show accurate results because these gut bugs are so smart that whenever you take a sample of your stool it's like the bugs know how to like dissolve. So by the time your testing gets to the lab, like it no longer detects it. So that was something that was missed. We didn't address any of the gut bugs known as parasites. And after I learned like there's a process to tackle these microbes. And this is, in my one-on-one, the first step that we get done is that we get lab work done. It's going to point out your deficiencies, and it's going to also point out to see if we need to get further lab testing. The second step is that we'll go over the red flags on blood work, and we'll start to support your body. And when I say to start to support your body, it just means like charging up your cells, giving your body energy in order to start getting rid of these microbes. And this is how I decrease the hair thinning, because if you lower the toxicity in the body, it has the ability to focus on the healthy hair growth. And if you're transitioning off of birth control, then when you start to fill in the nutrient deficiencies, when you remove the fungus that the birth control probably contributed to, then your body's able to focus on hormonal balance and healthy hair. And this is what the process looks like. So we'll start to lower the gut bugs, also known as parasites, because they tend to carry the most infections. Then we'll follow it with following the fungus, lowering the yeast, and sometimes we address that along with heavy metals. So my experience was I went ahead and did all the functional lab testing, the blood work, the stool test, the micronutrients, the genetic testing, the food sensitivity, but I simplified it for you. And the only thing you have to get is the blood work test. Is a comprehensive blood panel. And sometimes if it's hormonal issues, then I would suggest a Dutch hormonal testing. So the process that you follow is we start by supporting your body, also known as charging up your cellular function and lowering the microbes. and I'm confident that you'll be able to decrease your hair thinning, especially if you're transitioning off of birth control. So if you need help with transitioning off of birth control to decrease the hair thinning, then send me a message.